Stantonbury camp, and it's in the village of Stantonbury in Somerset. Now, I don't have the English Place Name Society to help me in Somerset because they haven't published anything, which is quite shocking. I'm quite tempted to do it myself as a little hobby, but I basically have the charters in the Sawyer database and various other places to help me understand this landscape. My last two videos were on Corstan, and this is the Corstan boundary, just goes along the foot of that wood there and then heads up that way. Over there is the Thrail land Camera.
This is where we left off on the last video at New Barn.
Which is the three land boundaries where they meet, and they do still today at that crossroads. Stantonbury is interesting. Firstly, it might not be its original English name. In the charter it's called Merces Burh, which means the borough of the mark of the boundary. And that boundary is not the parish boundaries, probably. That boundary is the Wansdyke that goes up to it, across it, and then eastward towards Bath.
This is the continuation of the Corstan Saxon boundary in Old English. Of Childestana on Merces Burh north the Weirder, Thonne west on their borough off that west Hornan, Thonne north on Herapatha, off Thonne and Lipianthorn, West Thonan on Thonne Ridge, that on Thonne and Lipianstan, Thonan Northrichter on Mera Mera Westerweerde.
These Iron Age hill forts are massive amounts of expenditure, both in labour and money, whatever, in the Iron Age, time. People in this period wanted to be in their fields, giving themselves as much surplus from the labour as possible. Yet they were being diverted up here to not just defend their local capital, but also to lift up the status of their leaders. So we're looking at the development of powerful elites, and not just that warrior elites, people who are well trained, well experienced fighters. Now this lasts from normally something like 300 AD to when the Romans get here in the middle of the 1st century AD. And then I think, and I may be wrong, I think the Romans prevented, well they did, we know from records that the Romans prevented people they conquered or took in as federates, prevented them from having their own military capabilities. So we know they were abandoned, but some people aren't sure whether or not it was the Romans that made them abandon them. They were abandoned. They lived on as a ceremonial role. They're very often temples to the old gods, which the Romans carried on. They merged them with the Roman gods. So there might be a temple here, a square hut with a well in it, which you would drop offerings into, like they have in Ewley in Gloucestershire, or they might be like proper stone-built square temples, or even octagonal ones, that Roman style, that worship Roman gods. But these places were not just military and royal, they were religious as well. The religious part lived on. You will often find magnificent villas, Roman villas, near hill forts, which suggests that though the royalty lived on too, they just didn't have the ability to have military capability. But that when the Romans left, these places get reoccupied. The walls get redone up really quite well in non-Roman methods. They're going back to the Iron Age methods. But what you're seeing here with the Western Wansdyke joining up hill forts, this isn't an Iron Age tactic. This is a Roman. It's very similar to the Antonine. Is it the Antonine Wall? Anyway, I'll put it along the bottom of the screen. There's a wall north of Hadrian's Wall, which isn't stone. It's very much like the Wansdyke. It's wobbly and it's made of earth and rocks. That is a Roman style of warfare, military defence. And the Wansdyke joins up Iron Age hill forts that have been reoccupied after the Romans left. Probably, we're pretty sure it probably is. The consensus is leaning towards the sub-Roman kingdom theory. And so they have a second life. So what you're seeing is a multi-phase picture of this line, this boundary, from possibly the Bronze Age. We think that the Wansdyke itself is on a Bronze Age boundary. It probably was. It wasn't built up the way the Wansdyke is. There's a massive fortification. It's probably like the Grim's ditches elsewhere in the southwest that are just ditches. This is the boundary. You stay over there, but it doesn't force them to stay over there, which the Wansdyke does. So there's chaps out and children and the whole family coming out beating, shooting pheasants, I think.